Welcome back. Well, New Year's, of course, is a time when many people start anew, and that includes relationships for some people. Joining us once again is our relationship expert, Jeske. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
So we were talking about resolutions that couples make. What are some big ones that you typically hear?
So I hear a lot of very general things like, I want to improve our relationship. I want to improve communication. And that, how do you measure that, right? It's not very specific. How will you know if your relationship has improved? How will you know if you've improved your communication? So I try to steer people towards being more specific and doing something that they can actually measure and attain.
So not just a general statement, like actually have something to back that up.
Yeah, and little steps you can take. So there's 3 areas that I thought we could focus on. So the first would be make a date. So schedule time for you and your partner. And it can be anything. It can be getting dolled up and going out on the town. It can be cozy in your PJs on the couch. Whatever it is, just involving the 2 of you. Is there something going on here?
It just seemed like something you would be interested in doing.
Just special time
very
together.
Interesting. Yes. Special time. Thank you. Quality time.
Yeah.
So is that's one suggestion?
That's one. Try something new.
Okay.
So taking a class together, like a dance class, joining a group, going, you know, I've got to throw the sassy part in there, going to a little adult toy store together and finding something you can bring home.
Wow.
Anything new that you want to do together can really bring some electricity and some energy into the relationship.
Okay.
I like the dance class idea.
Yeah,
that's a good one. That's definitely a good one.
So this is something that it's a resolution that they can really do like all year round. Not necessarily the adult toy shop all year round,
Or
but
you can.
You know,
There's a
works
lot.
for
There's
you.
a lot of items out there. A lot to explore.
And the third one is?
And the third would be keep it positive. So I hear from a lot of relationships that things get very negative. There's nagging, there's accusations. You don't do this. You used to do this. A lot of negative talk going on. And so focusing on the, are you going to look at her again on this?
no, I'm looking at her now. Yes.
Focusing on the positive. We all love to receive compliments. So tell your partner how you feel about them. If you appreciate something, let them know. Positivity begets more positivity. And so when you start acting that way, it's going to come back to you.
Okay, because I was looking at Roxy, because before you came out, she's like, what? Like, you know, fight less.
Yeah,
and
that's great.
But is that focusing on the negative then, or is that still?
So maybe do that with a positive one, right? So fighting less can be, that's a lot more specific than improving communication. But then on top of it, do something a little more fun too.
That improving communication is just such a
It's
wide,
too broad.
yeah,
It's too
you know,
broad.
like,
yeah. And my communication is different than your communication, so then who's right, who's wrong, that can cause more fights if we're being overly general.
Okay, and so do you find that the couples you see come in a couple months from after they make these resolutions and say, it's worked, we're perfect couple now?
Yeah. Creating the resolution can be hard because you want to make sure you're on the same page. And in terms of resolution, maybe even not using that word, think about how you want your relationship to look this year. What do you want to invite into your relationship in 2010? What do you want to leave back in 2009?
What are some things you've heard from people? What are some resolutions you've heard them make?
So a lot of individual ones would be, I mean, exercise, activity I hear. And couples do, you know, talking about that too. I hear that one a lot. That one often kind of fades away a little bit into the new year. The fighting less one is a great one. The general improving communication, going out more, appreciating each other more. Those are a little bit more typical for people.
And I think at the end of the day, it's like a two-way street, you know? So if one person's investing more time and energy into it and the other person isn't,
then they're
going to
feel neglected.
And then that's when the resolution just dies because they're like, all right, well, I'm not going to try if you're not.
Yeah. And that's where the couples counseling can come in and be really helpful because that's a time you're setting aside once a week to get together with your counselor to be able to talk about things, to be able to sometimes get homework, specific things you can work on for the week to keep you accountable.
And have you put any of these to the test in your own relationship?
This is what I love about this show and about being a counselor is that I get to put all of this to test in my relationship. It keeps me really accountable. I can't talk to other people about improving their relationship and then not go home and do it myself.
Okay, so you're going to the dance classes. You might be going to the shops.
You never know. But you may see me when you're out shopping.
But we're keeping it PG-13
That would
here.
be kind of awkward, I have to say.
Hey, Jules, what's up? Well,
awkward.
thanks again for coming in. Always such great advice, and I'm sure we'll see you next week,
All
too.
right.
Next year.
Next year?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We'll have our resolutions ready. We'll
can't
run them
wait.
by you. Thanks, Julie.
Thank you.
Hey, let's break from our topic now.